Had to make sure we're going there. Well, today's the day. Today, you learn about what's going on with Murdo Girl. I just can't wait any longer to tell you. I have tried to do it 3 or 4 times. I did quite a long video last night, but when I played it back this morning, it didn't sound quite right. And the truth is that I need to be more concise. Well, I started doing the Murdo Girl stories on the blog on March 16th of 2016. So 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. This has been 6 years since I started doing those little stories. And then in July was the Murdo All School Reunion. So if you've read the blog at all or read the Murdo Girl book, you know how that all played out. So that worked out well. It was so much fun. And then once I finished writing all the Murdo Girl stories that I could remember through high school and everything, a couple even beyond that, then I just started branching out to other things. And one of the girls that I used to babysit, Karen Lindquist, got a hold of me and she said, "We need more Murdo Girl stories." And I said, "Well, that's all I can remember." And believe me, I remembered a lot, and they were all true. She said, "Well, then make something up." But it just didn't feel right. So I made a lot of stuff up, but it wasn't about Murdo Girl or anything that happened to me, because I really had to stick to the truth when I was writing those stories, and nobody ever challenged me on that. Even my brother, once he read them, he'd say, "You know, I remember that now. I remember when you bought Mom a plastic clothes basket and wrapped it because you wanted her to have the biggest present under the tree." And I remember when I would race you to school every day, he said, "and never let you win." Even on the last day when he was getting ready to graduate, I knew he'd let me win, but nope, he didn't. But I will tell you, he's just the best brother in the world, and I wouldn't trade him for anything. So we've had a lot of experiences, and I've written a lot in the blog about growing up in Murdo and just those challenges. So that all happened back in the 50s and 60s. I graduated in 1970. So the people that I wrote about back then are gone. You know, my parents have been gone for a long time. We still have Gus, thankfully. He's quite a bit younger than that crew was. But he lives out in California, and you know him too, because I've written a lot about him. Some of you know him from the days in Murdo. So those people are gone. Nobody that lives in Murdo now remember them. And so I think it's time that we move on to another Murdo Girl. I want there to be a Murdo Girl because Murdo's such a unique town, and it's just the greatest place to grow up in. The school's always good, the teachers are always great, and it's just a community that cares about one another. And sports means a lot to them. I mean, good grief, they went to the state B tournament year before last, I guess, and barely had enough kids to even manage a team, and what you would call a very shallow bench. But it was funny because I was listening to it and on the radio, and it was so much fun, and I recognized all the names, but the schools are combined now. It's not only Murdo, but it's Murdo and Draper. Now I'm forgetting exactly what happened there, but I remember the names, but the kids are like twice removed from the kids that I grew up with, their parents or grandparents or whatever. Mostly their grandparents. Because my kids are in their 40s, and yeah, their 40s. And the girls are in their 50s. So, gosh, time flies. But in any case, you're probably not having an easy time following me, but what I'm trying to say is that we need to pick a new Murdo girl, or a new Murdo girl needs to pick us. And they can have the blog, they can have do whatever they want, but there needs to be a Murdo girl who talks about their history and their fun times growing up there and their families. And I'm sure it would be just really totally interesting. Somebody that likes to write and likes to tell stories, has family there, that sort of thing. So if you have anybody in mind, send me a private message on Facebook, or be happy to give my phone number, my um, email address, and all of that. But I am going to also enlist Tammy Van Dam, Tammy Linguist Van Dam, Kieran uh, Linguist, and Kim Duder, and try to get them to help me find somebody that would be a good fit. But any volunteers, yeah, would be great too. So think about it and don't take too long, because I got to turn over the reins soon. I'd like to have it happen before we go back to South Dakota in July, because I'm not going to quit blogging, but I am going to move on to a new subject. It's still going to be about me, but it's going to be different in that I'm going to call it something along the lines of that 70s girl. It does not have to do with the 70s as far as the 70s years, but the fact that I just entered my 70s. I turned 70 on December 31st of 2021. So it's going to be a new experience for me to be in my 70s. So we'll see what happens. It could be fun. I'm still going to do some fun things with Val. In fact, Val Lab, I call her, doesn't know anything about this. So I was thinking that I could give her a call and record it and see what her reaction is. Billy doesn't know anything about it. Might give him a call as well. Well, he'll, oh shoot, they might know about it by the time by the time I get a hold of him. Gus doesn't know anything about it, so I might try to surprise him before, which would have to be like tonight, because I got to post this tonight. So I might surprise them and see what they have to say. But it's not going to change my mind, because I think it's a great idea. It's important to me, and I'm looking forward to it. Oh my God, behind here! I'm trying to cover up the mess. I'm in my bedroom because the guy's out spraying our backyard, and the dogs can't go out, so I've got him in here taking a nap with me. So anyway, guys out there and girls out there, love you. It's been a great ride, and it's even going to be greater because you're going to have a new Murdo girl, and then you're going to watch somebody work their way through the 70s. Take care.